All right, let's get practicing in QuickBooks Online. Grab the link below in the description so that you can follow along. All right, here we are in the QBO Gym. And the QBO Gym is a place where we have numerous exercises that simulate real-life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Every single month, we come out with new exercises for you to practice your skills and complete, and we break it down for you into 4 different sections. So today we are going to be working in the November warm-ups section. At the top here is a little animated video to give you a little synopsis of what's going on in Craig's world that month. He is our fictitious business owner. Further down is an interactive quiz as it relates to the video up above. And then further down are the exercises within this section. So today we are going to finish up the warm-up section by practicing invoicing with accumulated charges. You will need to be in the same session of the sample company that you did for all of the other warm-up exercises. If you have not completed those yet, go ahead and click on the link on the top right corner. That'll take you to the first one. Complete that one and all the ones after that until you get back to this one. These exercises all build on each other, so it's really important to start with that first one before you get to this one. So our scenario today is that since Video Games by Dan has collected quite a few charges by this point, Craig says to go ahead and send his invoice. So let's see how to do that. We're going to click on the plus new button and then select invoice. So here I am in the sample company. This is the last page that I left off of from the previous exercise. Over here on the left-hand nav bar, here's the plus new button. Click on that, and then under customer, select invoice. And now we need to fill out that invoice. In the customer field, let's go ahead and select our Video Games by Dan. So click into the box and start typing in video. There's Video Games by Dan, select that. And when you do that, you will see that there are all of these different expenses. There's a credit here. All these different things, these charges that have been accumulating will show up in this little pop-up drawer. And this is, as I mentioned, this includes the equipment rental, the return credit, which was that negative number, as well as other charges that were previously entered. So what we want to do is add all of these things to the invoice, and we can do it easily by just clicking on the Add All button. So click on that. And when you do, you will see all 5 of those different expenses and that one credit. They are all showing up here in the invoice, which is great. It just saves you a ton of time. So QBO has now added all of the accumulated charges to Dan's invoice, as well as reduced it by the return credit. That's that $200 credit. You know that's a credit because yes, it says here, but also it's that negative $200. So you'll notice that the invoice does not have a product service listed for the rentals. To have the product service listed, you would need to have the equipment rental set up in the products and services list, and we would have had to indicate it in the items grid, not the category grid on the expense transaction. So here is that product service for those 3 things. If you remember, these were those rental transactions on the previous exercise when we were processing the bank feeds. We added all of these into we added them all in the bank feed. We didn't go out of it and do a separate expense. Remember from our experience with the Hicks Hardware transaction, you cannot add the product service items from the bank feed. You have to create an expense for this and then match it in the bank feed instead. So that's what I was just talking about. You couldn't do it directly from the bank feed like we did. We would have had to have gone out of it and done it separately. So another thing to note on this invoice is that there are link icons that now appear in the product service grid. This indicates that the line item is connected to another transaction. You can always click on the link to see what that transaction is for. So here are all of those links right there. If you wanted to see what it's linked to, you would just click into it. So in a real life scenario, we would want to send this to the customer, but for the purposes of this exercise, all we want to do is just click Save and Close. So over here, click on the little arrow down here and then Save and Close. And it has been saved. If you had sent it, it would say that it was sent. But that's it. That's how easy it is to create an invoice with accumulated charges. And if you have any questions or want to know more about the QBO Gym, just go ahead and click on the link below in the description. We have finished the warm-up section. We move on to the cardio section with our next exercise where we practice setting up contractors. And I will see you in the next video.